Hey everyone, I'm back, League Garden 3. I'm sorry it's been a while to get the second video up, but I finished my exams now. It is officially the summer. Holy shit! Oh my god! So we're playing on Studstorf, and this is going to be a follow-up of the previous video, so that will be exciting, and hopefully we won't get lag desync, but heaven forbid. Nothing is simple with a computer, and it will probably go horrifically out of sync once more, but I don't know, I don't care. If it's really bad, then, well, you can tell me and be like, League Garden, what are you doing? And then we can try and figure out how to fix it, but hopefully it will be okay. So anyway, as you can see, I'm doing the same as last time. By the way, as a rule of thumb, if you're playing anyone that's above like level 9, as Vermax, this guy's level 10 actually, but I just got lucky as shit against this guy. Do not play Studstorf as British, because you will die a horrible, painful, slow death if you play anyone that's fairly competent at rushing you. And let's talk about what this guy's doing. So the last guy tried to do an all-out spam rush of, well, the pyos and the bikes and the combos. This guy's going for the 4 Pyo, and this is the alternative. So you're going to have either an early rush of the bike, the MG, and 2 Vokes and a few Pyos rushing your point off. As you can see, also I've gone for the 10 ammunition. I'm going to be capping that. It's probably better to go for this one here, although this one is viable if you want to be a bit more aggressive. And if you're on the other side, then here, or the plus 16. I mean, the plus 16 is good, but it puts you a bit out of the way of the battle. So anyway, yeah, so this guy's battle strategy will be to rush to Tech 2, Tier 2, and get out a half track which can suppress you like shit. It is unbelievably good at suppressing you. And then basically the floods will open and you will be spammed half to death by grenadiers with Panzerschrecks. And flame pyos. There's very little you can do against this if it works. You need to be super aggressive, and as a rule of thumb with Wehrmacht, your next upgrade, although I know that I did go for I know in my last video I said go for another Recon element. Yeah, that can still work, although I found actually recently, because of it's really hard to explain, but when I was playing that last time, I was placing level 8s, level 9s. I'm now about 2,000th as the Brits, maybe not, about 2,500. And now I'm facing a lot of competent Wehrmacht and P players like 11, 12, 13. They suddenly know how to defeat double recon element. And it does seem to be, when you go against Wehrmacht, you want to be going for an anti-infantry kind of element, and if you are facing Panzer Elite, as a rule of thumb, you'll be using the Bren assault gun when it is. So anyway, another integral part of the Wehrmacht strategy here is to go for a med bunker. Your infantry sections can be like 3 Pyo squads, I'm not even joking. But as you can see, I'm focusing down the bunker to force it to be halted for as long as I can. And now I'm going to retreat out of there because I'm just like, I'll sod it. As you can see, in terms of map control, I'm obviously being encircled, but where your truck is where your starting point is, which was what we said last time. And with the Brits, you want to ensure that you are keeping control of like a chunk like this, like a chunk of good income that you can rely on. You know, your truck puts you in a position where you can't cover your bases as easily, but you can, you know, actually make it suit you better, because then you can't get cut off as easily because you're changing where your cutoff point is. For example, I'd have to get cut off here and here. Well, I mean, if I get cut off here, I'd have this, and I've got these to guarantee these. It's like actually really good, so you can change where you're starting, and it works out really well. So the enemy's got up the bunker. The bunker will generally be a med bunker by the Wehrmacht opponent. Generally, so if you kill grenadiers, you're essentially just adding to the furnace, because there'll be so many grenadiers that you can't really handle it. So as you can see, he's gone up for the Tech 2. I'm going to be getting anti-infantry units. So you see, I'm holding back with my upgrades at the minute, simply because, as you can see, I've got the double recon element chasing the pyres. When you're playing as a British, you want to be as aggressive against the Pioneers as you physically can be. If you noticed earlier, I knocked them off of this 10 ammo point really early on. You want to be using Lieutenant to cap around where your truck is, and be using your first infantry section to try and find some pyos, to get some harass going on, and to force their hand a bit. Because you don't want to be in a situation where you're just completely like losing ground and such. You want to be forcing these pyos off the map, preventing them from gaining as much influence on the battlefield as possible, giving you as much time for influence on the battlefield as possible for yourself. So let's just speed it up here. So here comes that half track, and he's going to make his appearance. You literally sometimes get people that go directly to your base with this thing, with Grenadiers already in it with Panzerschrecks, pin you down as you retreat to regroup, and then we'll just demolish you. Luckily, this guy doesn't do that and instead goes up to the top to stop me capping the victory point. I think I'm going to retreat out of there in a minute. The thing you've always got to remember when you're playing as the British is you've got to keep calm and you've got to just kind of stay on top of your game and think to yourself, look, you can dig yourself out of this. The amount of games I played where I've rage quit and then looked back at the playback and realised, actually, if I just kept a cool head, and this goes for any of the teams, any nation really, if you know what I mean, you can actually bring yourself a comeback really easily. Like I did this yesterday where I was playing as the Wehrmacht against a British guy that spammed 2 Stugs, wiped off all my infantry with canister shot, and all I did manage to get up is a tier 3 building so I could build Stuggeschutz, and I was able to build one just in time and completely knock his Stuarts out of the park because he couldn't maneuver them, because I was microing it because I could just focus on the Stug, and I just demolished it. And you know, and then I could really come back easily because he invested so much fuel and his manpower into those 2 Stuarts. So anyway, let's see. I've got my extra truck on, the ammo, the plus 18 ammo, so I'm getting 62 per minute, so that's 100 a minute. No, it's not, it's 60 a minute. Well, you know, shut up. I'm trying to just do some bit of harass here. I'm getting the captain out so I can go straight for the Stuart. As you saw last time, an early Stuart is always effective. I'm buttoning the... you see, I've gone for the anti-infantry, anti-tank mode thing, so I can pin down the half-track. This prevents it from suppressing my men, so I can actually fight around the half-track. And also remember that enemies can reinforce near the half-track, so like you're going to be fighting basically like this here, as you can see, an endless stream of Grenadiers, and it's going to be very difficult. So I'm just literally doing pot shots. I'm using my snipe because why not? I've got so much fucking ammo, and as you can see, the medics are going to work, picking up the dead corpses. He's got anti-tank ready for the Stuart. This guy's got his strategy set up. So what you have to be willing to do is to be prepared and kind of fight this according to what he's bringing out. So I'm fighting manpower. That's not good, but it's because I'm trying to assess what I need to do. It's not intentional, at least I don't think it is. And I think, well, if I go for a Stuart tank, I can use that to support me, but he probably has got a pack out. I don't know that yet, mind you. And I'm going for another infantry section with which I can do AT spam. Linking up my lieutenant to my men so they get the morale buff and the accuracy bonuses and all of that shiz. Just literally doing some light skirmishing here, trying to do some damage, but ultimately you actually don't want to be doing this, because if you're just skirmishing with the Grenadiers, you're giving more corpses to add to the piles of bodies. So as you can see, I've now got the Grenadier upgrade and I've got the Stuart. So we're now going to engage, and now you're going to see, with the lieutenant nearby, the accuracy of your Grenadiers goes up substantially. I'm going to canister shot as well, as you see there, and look at that, we've demolished these Grenadiers faster than the medics can support them. The AT luckily misses actually, and then I realise, holy shit, there's a pack there, so I'm actually going to retreat my Stuart out, and now instead of using it in a direct role, I'm going to be using it to counter-attack and to harass. So now we're just going to kind of push these Grens back. You see the grenade launcher shots are fucking awesome. I think we're going to be able to take that out. As you can see, my opponent also now has a camp craft center, trying to get the elite armor, which is the Vet 2 upgrade. It basically makes Grenadiers fucking impossible to kill for shit. And you don't really want that happening if you can avoid it, but you know, shit's difficult. So we've armored the half track, so his push has been stopped, and we've forced him near the med bunker. And I'm like, okay, what do I do here? I've now got 600 manpower. I'm going to be using my captain to cap points, and I'm going to be using my Stuart to harass the base. Well, I was going to, but I think I put him back. I will be doing that later though. So I'm just kind of checking the scene, seeing what's going on, and I'm seeing he's repairing it. He's bringing Panzerschreck Grenadiers, just like I said. Like literally, I got very lucky here, but it demonstrates how you should be able to count it if you keep a hold of things. If you see this heavy Grenadier strat, you need powerful anti-infantry firepower. And this is kind of the thing, is these people have this mindset where they're like, I'll spam Grenadiers and I'll win. They'll literally put a medic bunker down, like click Grenadiers and just right click towards you essentially for the entire game. I've had a great game of that where I played as the Americans. The thing is, all you need is artillery or heavy anti-infantry, and it doesn't matter. They could be vet free and you're still going to demolish the shit out of them, because like like if they haven't got tank support, because people literally just spam Grenadiers. This guy's got a half track. I mean, that's impressive in itself. I've seen people just spam Grenadiers at vet free and expect them to win. You can't expect that from your units without support. This is a game with multiple dimensions. You need to be constantly altering your game plan or supporting it. So as you can see, I'm going to now be getting up my casualty clearing station, upgrading another anti-infantry, and as you can see, the generic Wehrmacht strategy is to go for your trucks. He's using the Panzerschrecks, but we're not going to let him. If you can see now, my force is like a massive potency of anti-infantry, and we're going to just like literally clean house against these Panzerschreck units just before they can clear up their tank. And in the middle, we've just kind of got the standard thing going on. We're going to push them back, and realising that these guys are very wounded, I'm actually going to chase them with the Stuart. We'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, I'm now going to literally think, right, I've got heavy anti-infantry reserves, I've got heavy infantry everything, so I'm just going to chase these grenadiers off, one at a time, all the way back to their bunker. Meanwhile, you can see here that I'm just going to be harassing, in the meantime I'm going to be harassing with the Stuart, because this is what you want to be doing, you want to be diverting his attention as much as possible. I'm able to wipe out a grenadier and a Panzerschreck, if one stays alive and misses. So you're trying to divert his attention. As you can see, he's kind of struggling to kind of just see what's going on back at his base, what I'm doing with the Stuart. So now I can just gradually advance with these infantry sections against an enemy whose half track is not in a good position. It is not pinning me down. It's not really a good demonstration, but I promise you this thing will pin you really well. I think you'll see it in a bit. So as you can see, I've wiped out Pioneers, I've wiped out his Grenadiers because he's not bothered to retreat them, he's just leaving them there. The bunker can't cope with this many losses. He's got 2 AT guns, but I'm even going to rush the Stuart up now because he's forcing them to retreat. We're going to get behind them. We're going to completely force his hand. As you can see, the half track now is standing still. This is what you want your half track to be doing, by the way, in a secure location. As you'll see, it will actually single-handedly pin all my men in the moment. Yeah, there you go. You can see the pinning power of this thing is potentially awesome, but now I've got a Vet 2 Lieutenant, so if I wanted to, I can use the charge ability, which you get at Vet 1, to just kind of break that temporarily. So now I'm just going to chase the half track with Stuart. That's the only thing he has left with some pyros in, and he's only got 1 Grenadier squad with double Shreks. Never double Shrek on a single unit. Never do that, because why? Why? I'll tell you why. Look at this. Just watch. Yeah, and that's why you do not double Shrek. Fucking Stuart, motherfucker. So yeah, I've now got the other tank thing out. You always want to be keeping on top of what you're doing at your base. The guy realises he's only got a Pioneer and a thing left, and he quits. But, like I said, a competent player would be more prepared in these situations. And, you know, like I'm just taking out the med bunker now, and you've got to be prepared for more than that. Stay tuned for some P and American play, hopefully soon. And if you want anything in particular on my channel, strategy wise, just give me some tips, give me anything you want to see, and I will try and craft a video around it for you. Now I have free time. I'll see you around. Lee Garden out.